And I've watched Republicans, election cycle after election cycle, continue to limit themselves. And one of my concerns going into this election, I knew, first of all, that Hillary Clinton would be the Democrat nominee. There was never a doubt in my mind that's, you know, this bunch of gangsters has everything all set up. So my worry was that any Republican candidate would be too soft on her. In other words, not really pull out the dirt, not really pull out what her true record was, and try to be nice about running against her with this fear that they would alienate voters. I think that is a recipe for disaster for any other candidate, but I do think that Donald Trump is a candidate, and we still don't know if he'll be it or not, but I think at least that guy's going to come out with guns blazing. I mean, do you see that?
I do. I think the way Donald Trump dismissed the other 16 people in the GOP primary, he holds nothing back. I think he will hold nothing back with Hillary. And I think she and the Clinton team, they're going to go for against Donald Trump with this scorched earth Clinton, you know, that's how they do things. So it's going to be a very ugly campaign. I'm glad to say that there will be some things brought out about Hillary by Donald that maybe wouldn't have been brought out by others. But, you know, another whole factor about this is as we get into this election cycle, people are going to be looking closely at what does Hillary think about this? What does she know about this? I just saw some polling earlier about what Donald Trump, you know, how people, if they say, well, I'm concerned about foreign policy, which person do I trust more? I'm concerned about the economy, which person do I trust more? On a bunch of issues, which I was shocked to see, Hillary was viewed by this wasn't a GOP or Democrat, but just a broad poll. People trust her on issues, and so Donald Trump better not spend a whole lot of time tearing Hillary down. He needs to spend some time proving to people he's got the stuff that he needs to be president.
How in the world could people look at her and think they could trust her on those issues? She's never shown success, ever. Ever.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
ever.
Yes, and especially on terrorism. That was one where people were way up saying she'd be better on terrorism. I will say I think Donald Trump captured the GOP primary voting base really with two issues. One was building the wall, and essentially the signal was we're not going to have a porous border. We're going to have an immigration policy. We're going to enforce it. And what he said with respect to Islamic immigration to America, we're going to vet these people before we have another San Bernardino. Those two things are so, I don't think he really will build a wall, but to speak firmly about immigration, to say we're going to stop bringing dangerous immigrants to America, those are two things that made people say, go Donald. And I think, I will tell you, these last two election cycles, when conservatives have stayed home, they stayed home for Romney, they stayed home for McCain. I think conservatives might stay home with respect to Donald Trump, but it's
really
feel this. Yes, it's because they want the Ted Cruz, the constitutional, you know, get back to what our country is supposed to be all about, the intellectual conservatives. But I will say this, there's something so I like hearing Donald Trump talking about, and I'm not a big fan, but when he talks about the goodness of America and getting America back on track and being strong, I'm glad that was popular with people.
See, I think that resonates with people, and I think that there is a security aspect that will resonate with women. You know, security is always on the mind. I'm a married guy. My wife and I, we talk about these things. I talk about these things with her friends, and, you know, security is a big deal. And I think that when you compare her record, when you look at Hillary Clinton's record on security, it's non-existent. And if he's laying down the gauntlet, oh, no, we're not going to play with any of these people, I think that actually can turn it around. But who, you know, what do I know? I'm just a radio blowhard. But
actually, I would love to agree with you. I mean, I do agree with you on that. I think that one thing that Donald Trump will exploit about Hillary, even though it seems like it's been in the news so often, is what happened the night of Benghazi. What was the reason she did not jump up and take care of it and get at least whatever help was in the area in to help those people? Why did she lie to the parents of those 4 precious Americans killed over there? Donald Trump can bring up 1 or 2 points and say them over and over. And I think even though America's heard a lot about Benghazi night, that kind of stuff will alarm people about Hillary and what she really thinks about national security. And I agree with you that if you can get people focused on national security, Donald Trump is much stronger than she is.
All right, Ms. Georgatos, we really appreciate your time today on the big show, and we'd love to talk to you again. as we move through this insane. This is the most insane election I've ever seen, by the way.
That's a great word, insane, and thank you for having me.
I have never seen anything so stinking whacked out as this election. It is unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today, and we look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you.